on here quickly because I got a little bit of idea for a segment while I was going through my vinyl collection today. So if you're brand new to me on my channel, I'm a pretty big music collector. I've been collecting vinyl for quite a while now. And I have 3 picture frames that I like to display in my apartment. And I like to change them up. I've got a ton of records, so I like to change them up like every month or so or by the season. Try to kind of theme them to, the seasons that are going on or, something significant that's going on. And so when I was going through them today and trying to put some new ones in there, I was like, this month is Black History Month. So maybe I'll put in some albums that have some historical significance to Black history. So I've got them displayed up here. I'll take you up here to them and I'll show you them off here. So I got Louis Armstrong, Otis Redding, and Jimi Hendrix live at Monterey Pop over here. And then Marvin Gaye, Midnight Love over here on the right. And I'll take you through each one of them one by one and explain why. So this one, the Louis Armstrong one, this album doesn't have a ton of historical significance, but Louis Armstrong as a person has a ton of historical significance because he was pretty much the first Black pop star. He's a jazz trumpeter from New Orleans who was born in 1901 and rose to prominence in the 20s. Before they even really had real sound recording equipment. They literally had like a funnel device that they would, shoot the speaker to the vinyl to. I don't even understand how it worked, but it's crazy. Louis Armstrong, definitely a super, super historical and important figure to the entire music world at large, not even just Black artists. I mean, he really kind of changed the game for popular music because he was, they said, one that made it so jazz when it was being performed prior to him, it was more of a collaborative effort type of thing. And he was the person that kind of ushered in soloing and having like solo parts in the performances. So that kind of changed the game for a lot of things. Okay, now we'll go on to the next one here. We got Jimi Hendrix and Otis Redding live at Monterey Pop. Now this one has a lot of significance in history because it kind of changed the game for both Otis Redding and Jimi Hendrix. See, Otis Redding came from Stax Records, which was a prominent record label in Memphis, Tennessee in the South during segregation. So they couldn't really play to integrated crowds in Memphis. And so at this point in his career, Otis Redding's audience was at large part mostly Black people. And Monterey Pop would kind of cross him over into a more mainstream success level. The only sad part about it is this Monterey Pop took place in June of '67, and Otis Redding would die in a plane crash in December of '67 before he would even really see the real success of his own band. I mean, Dock of the Bay came out after he passed away because they recorded that right before he died, and it came out in '68 after he passed away. But then also with the Jimi Hendrix part of this performance, Jimi Hendrix to this point of his career in '67 was pretty much only playing in the UK. He hadn't really crossed over to the United States yet. So when he played Monterey Pop, Jimi Hendrix's performance was really crazy and high energy, and that was the performance where he lit his guitar on fire at the end of the show, and that really crossed him over into the United States, which was kind of crazy for him. So that performance was super huge for both of their careers. Even though Otis would pass away, it's still his career and music would still go on to flourish after that, which is sad that he never really saw any success for it. Okay, and then now we get to this final one here that I have. Now you're probably wondering why I have Midnight Love out of all the Marvin Gaye albums that I could choose from. And the reason I chose Midnight Love is actually because it does have historical significance, because Midnight Love would be the first album that Marvin Gaye would cut leaving Motown. So he had left Motown and now had started making music on his own. And this album came out in '82. And unfortunately, Marvin Gaye would pass away in '84. So this would be the first and only one past Motown while he was alive. Obviously, I'm sure there's some posthumous releases for Marvin Gaye, but that one had some his historical significance as well. So I just thought that was cool, and I like to use the opportunity with my page to teach things a little bit. And so that's what I'm always going to try to do. I like it to be kind of educational and stuff. So I just wanted to pop on here quick and give those little tidbits of information and just say happy Black History Month, because, if you are a music lover, every month is really Black History Month because they've created it all. So I just wanted to say that, and go stream our newest podcast, Beats, Brews, and Points of View. We are available everywhere you stream podcasts, and have a brand new episode covering the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime show and plenty more. Peace.